In today's video, I'm going to show you how to paint Space Wolf's armor using the B.S.L system, but this time will include weathering effects. If you want to learn more about this system, I recommend the new book Color, where I explain color theory applied to miniatures, techniques, B.S.L families, and a wide range of tips that will help you understand color in an easy and practical way. I've already applied the black primer to the Space Wolf, so now I'm going to apply the base color using an airbrush. I'll be using the Geraldus Infinity with a 0.4mm needle. I'm thinning down the tin color with Spanish water, so it works well with the airbrush. I apply thin layers to cover the entire miniature evenly. If you like this airbrush, you can get it in my online store or at any shop that carries my products. There's a full list in the video description. Once the metallic color is applied, I start stippling with somber gray. I unload the paint onto a paper towel and apply the technique. I take my time because the idea is to create a worn armor effect. This technique is very easy to do. The trick is to be patient and let the metallic color show through underneath to achieve that effect. With steel gray, I apply the first highlight, also using the stippling technique. In this case, it's more controlled stippling, with smaller dots. I love this technique for creating weathered effects on armor. As you can see, the metallic color still shows through, which gives that aged and worn armor feel. First highlight is done, and you can already see that with just 2 steps it's looking really good. Now with Wolf Grey, I apply the second highlight. At this stage it's important to be very precise. The dots should be smaller and you should really limit the area being highlighted. If the highlight is too big, you'll end up covering all the previous work. As you can see, I am following the B.S.L system, but applied with a weathered effect. In previous videos, you saw how I painted a dark angel and a blood angel, using the B.S.L system cleanly. This video is the opposite, and I like showing it so you can see the difference in finish. The highlights are now applied, and look at the beautiful effect. Armor with hints of metal underneath and a truly worn look. And these were the BSL colors I used. Just 3. Now I'm going to paint the knee pad and shoulder pad with moon yellow, also using the stippling technique. By applying it with this technique, you get a very nice worn yellow effect. With black, I paint the freehand on the knee pad. The armor is almost finished, so now it's time to apply washes to add more depth and tones. With Express Copper Brown, I thin it with water and apply it in the armor crevices, and some specific areas to create a rust effect. The more washes you apply, the more pronounced the weathering effect on the armor will be. Continuing with the rust effect, I keep applying washes to add even more wear and depth. With Fire Orange, I apply washes in certain areas to create different types of rust on the armor, and add variety to the finish. I've placed the decal on the shoulder pad, and I'm going to add some small weathering effects to integrate it better. Using Rust Effects and Fire Orange, I apply washes to keep building up the weathered look. I'd like to ask if you'd be interested in more BSL videos but focused on weathering effects. If so, let me know in the comments. When applying the washes, the armor ends up with a very realistic aged look. To finish, I'll add some small highlights with metallics focusing on the edges, since that's where the most wear happens. And with that, the armor is finished. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.